Hello and welcome to SEGA News Bits. I'm your host George, and with me is Barry.
Hello, George.
We did an episode last week, but I don't know. It feels like we haven't been doing this in a while. I mean, we've both been sick, but we're back now. And if you want to support this show, you can support us on Patreon.
Yeah, pay for our hospital bills, please.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're old men already. We can't make it, and YouTube doesn't monetize us. So thank you, YouTube. But the first thing we're talking about today is Panzer Dragoon, which finally revealed a gameplay trailer, which is kind of interesting because this was announced last year, or it was leaked, then they confirmed that they're making this remake. And back then we were kind of, I don't know, questioning if the studio could, follow up the legacy of the franchise that it's acquired throughout the years.
Right.
And so it was kind of negative, but now we actually saw some gameplay trailer, and it was actually interesting seeing all these big YouTubers that are big Panzer Dragoon fans, or they say they are, and they didn't even know this was coming out. They were like, "Oh my god, this is happening," and I'm just like, I thought everybody knew, but I guess I'm the one that was wrong about this. I guess it was really low key announcement.
We did a news bits. We posted news on Sega Bits. We hit social media. It's just people. I don't know. People, unless IGN shoves it in their face, people are like, "This is brand new to me."
Yeah, but so they finally showed gameplay trailer, so we actually have something to talk about finally. So let's talk about one of the complaints about right away when they showed this, which I knew no matter what they did, this was going to be the number one complaint from fans. The graphics. The people don't think the graphics are good enough. The lighting is very last generation. It does look like a PS3 game, like a budget digital PS3 title. But is that a bad thing? Because that's literally what this is. It's a remake that's I'm assuming, going to be digital only, like Wonder Boy 3 and Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, potentially. I did see that someone was posting. There was a Switch box art on Best Buy Canada. But I don't know if that was legit or not. I don't know how easy it is to make your own listings there or something crazy. But talking about the game being budget. So let's talk about the original Panzer Dragoon real quick. I think it's a beautiful game, but it looks like a budget title.
I mean, it was rushed for the launch of the Sega Saturn. The sequel is way better.
Yeah.
But so that's what we're dealing with, and. So, I don't know, the graphics, I mean, do you think they look budget?
I think the original Saturn graphics, they were, I think, doing the best they could in the time constraints they had, and I think the game does look very simple. The new one, I think it doesn't look up to par with Panzer Dragoon Orta, and given Orta's over 10 years old, 15 years old, that's kind of a slam on this remake. I think this remake, there's just a lot of, and some people have been complaining about this, there's a lot of visual stimuli. There's almost too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think it should just be water with a few ruins. I think that would be too simplistic, but the amount of stuff, do you think there's too much there?
That's what I first saw, right? I was looking at it and I was like, wait, this is the first level of the first game.
Yeah.
Because it took me a couple of times to look at it because of the falling bridges. That's one of the, I guess, iconic moments. And yeah, I think it is a little bit too much. I always thought there was going to be maybe, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I can't put my finger on it. I'm trying to put my finger on it, but it looks like a very early, I guess, Unreal 4 game with the lighting and the way everything looks. I don't know what engine they're using, but it just looks like one of those fan-made PC games, when they're really early in stages. That's what it looks like.
It looks like a fan-made game, and we've seen this a lot with Shenmue and Sonic. Remember there was that Shenmue one where they were attempting to remake it, and it showed a few shots of Ryo walking around, and it looked fine, but it was definitely fan-made. Same with those Sonic ones where it lolooked like Lisa Frank. Remember that, with all the waterfalls and rainbows and stuff? And that's no slam on it, but it's just for something like Panzer Dragoon, it definitely feels budget. And I mean, I'm not trying to hate on it, because honestly, it's the first Panzer Dragoon. It wasn't up there with the greatest visual games of all time, but the art direction, art design, that's where it really excelled. And do you think this game nails that? Do you think it really looks like the art design that we came to know and love?
No, it's their take on the art style, which isn't the most terrible thing, but it reminds me kind of like Crimson Dragon, which is actually created by the director of this first game, the original.
Yeah.
And that one too, it was like they're trying to capture it, but they couldn't capture it. I feel like the closest modern take to the graphics, and even this game changed it, but Orda, like you said, I thought that captured it. They could have just done that, but HD, and people would have been pretty happy with it. They just copied that art style.
Yeah.
But another thing they showed off was the movement in the game, because we actually have some gameplay. What do you think about the movement? I thought it looked just fine. I mean, we can't touch it. We can't actually play it and move around the buttons and see how much lag there is when you move around the camera around you.
Yeah, no, I thought the movement looked fine. I have heard people complaining about the dragon roar. Is it because they think it won't have it, or is it because the trailer had, like, a different roar? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. I'm not that versed in dragon roars to be giving an opinion on it. But
whoa, really?
The last
that's honestly kind of insulting. But okay, go on.
I was going to say the last bit is that the original team of the game, even though they're still making games right now, are not involved with this remake. At least not at all that I know of. They haven't made any big announcements that the director of the game is back. Like we said, he wanted to make a new Panzer Dragoon game, so he did Crimson Dragon. He has his own company called Grounding Inc. Mm-hmm. And right now they're working on Space Channel 5 VR, so they're kind of busy, but it's interesting that these people that made Panzer Dragoon, or some of the key people, are around, but Sega's getting this team to make the remake, and the other team with Panzer Dragoon people, which also has Space Channel 5 people, but they're doing Space Channel 5 VR. Isn't that weird?
That is really weird, and it surprises me because I felt like for the longest time Sega wouldn't do this because they did not want to insult the original developer, and I'm wondering either if they actually reached out to them and got the approval, or if Sega, like, of America or Sega West just stops caring about that, and they're like, look, we need to make money and we need to stop being so precious with our IPs and just start making sequels, because you're really seeing it now. And maybe that's coming from Nagoshi. I mean, maybe he's saying, you know what, guys, if we want to do a sequel or a remake, and you know you can find a competent developer, then do it, because we like making money. You know?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this brings for the future. But what do you guys think about this remake? It's also only on a Nintendo Switch. What do you think about that?
Is that confirmed? That's what I find. I think the messaging on this is really bad. Like, there's no confirmed platforms yet. There's no talk of exclusivity. Maybe that's the point. You know what I'm thinking of? Do you remember Virtua Tennis 4, I think it was? And that game was being pushed as a PS3 game. I think it was at like a Sony show they debuted it, and people were like, well, it's exclusive. And then like a month or two later, they were like, no, it's on other platforms.
They never said it was exclusive. Maybe maybe it's timed exclusive and might come out on PlayStation 4 later. I could see that since they're a small team.
Yeah.
And a lot of indie developers have been saying that Nintendo the people have been buying a lot of games on it. Like Wonder Boy 3, I think they said something crazy like 2 out of 3 copies were sold on Nintendo Switch. So
wow.
We'll see. So what do you guys think about all this Panzer Dragoon news? Did you see it coming? Are you excited? Are you buying it? What other platforms do you want to see it on? What do you think about the original's creators not really being involved in it? And what do you think about the graphics? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See ya.